Hey guys, Danny from Salty Boys Fishing, and today we are in the boatyard and we're going to be doing some little around the house projects, getting this thing ready for a big fishing season. As you guys can see here, Summer Girl is out of the water and she's looking rough in a couple of areas, so got a couple of big projects we're going to be doing. We're going to be replacing the propellers, we're going to be bottom painting, new electronics. First order of business is we're going to be cleaning up so we can start our very next project. We just got done installing the radar and we got new props that just came in, so we're going to be ready and we're going to be putting those on, so let's get to it. All right, so we got this place a little bit more cleaned up. Not gonna mess with these. These are prop boxes, so they're staying here until after I put the new props on, but other than that, this place is looking a little bit cleaner. So other than just to have a clean boat, the reason that we did all this is because I'm gonna be pulling up this carpet now. We're getting new floors installed, as well as I need access to the engine room hatches that are gonna go right here and here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that started too. So right here, as you guys, I don't know if you can see, there's little staples in here holding this in. So we're gonna try to remove that and then go from there. All right, I had a little bit of hiccup on this edge, but look at this. So, that's a hatch for me to pull up, so we're gonna pull up and show you why we're gonna be redoing this all on hardwood floors with hatch access. Now we're getting somewhere. Come in the boat. Before I could only work through here. Now, if I need work, I can pop up this hatch. Now I can get on top of these beasts of an engine and get to work. Like that blower fan definitely needs replacing. Couldn't get to it. Now I got access. Very exciting moment. Let's go ahead and finish it out. You might be asking yourself, Daniel, why do you do this to yourself? I don't know. Oh man, that just fell. But it's okay. We're getting through. I'm falling all over the place today. We're almost done. Gonna get this pulled up. And we're also gonna be looking for a hatch in case we can get our new generator coming in down below. So we're making progress, but we'll see what we can get done today. Now we're officially all carpets detached. Gonna go ahead and roll it up, get out of here, but I'm gonna save it just in case I want to use it as template for new carpet. Hopefully not, but you know, it's always good to have something, so bring it along. This right here, this is exactly what we want access to. So starboard engine, this is in between them. I'm gonna show you guys, and then this should be port engine access. So the reason we're even ripping the carpet out is because we're gonna put laminate flooring with seams where the hatches are, so I can do maintenance. So it's looking good. Now we can go ahead and look at all the access we have. That's about a 5-foot drop for size comparison, but coming down here. Now we can get access top of these engines, do our maintenance, replace those old blowers, rusted through, or just if we're doing some painting projects or working now, we have a huge space to work at. Get rid of this wire mess. We're doing new wiring, new batteries. So, well guys, maybe this wasn't the most interesting video for you. It wasn't necessarily fishing related, but it is winter and we are getting our offshore boat ready, and this kind of stuff that goes into some of the boat owning that not many people know. So first thing we got here is we have a cotter pin, then we have these two nuts, and then we have the shaft, which is a tapered fit. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off this, this, and this. Then we're gonna put on our prop puller and it's gonna pull this prop off. Right here, we got the prop out, but as you guys can see, we got the pin out here, but pin snapped off, so obviously we're gonna replace both of our cotter pins while it's already out of the water. As you guys can see right here, I have a piece of wood stopping the propeller from spinning. Now all I gotta do is put some torque on it. Now I know you could just use a big socket, but if you're careful, it'll be fine. Just like that, we have the nuts off of the shafts, and now we're gonna pull in a prop puller that my buddy is letting us borrow. We're gonna pull the props off, inspect everything, then it's time to put the new ones back on. As you guys can see, this prop right here just came off. We wiggled it off. This one over here, we had the puller on. So what it does is it grips right behind the prop, covers up the end of the shaft, and it's giving a lot of pressure, and then we beat on it with a hammer, try to kind of shake it loose and while we have tension, but we're having a lot of trouble getting this one off. We tightened this down a little bit more, gave it a smack. Now this thing's almost off. I'm gonna go ahead and try to wiggle it off. Got the old prop off. Now we got the shiny new prop. So we're back here today. We got the new props on. We're not gonna go ahead and tighten them down yet because we are still gonna clean up the shafts a little bit, but this is about what they're gonna look like going through the water. So right here, what we got is we just got our Craftsman sander hooked up to our shop vac, and that way whenever this thing is sanding, we're collecting all the dust and we're not dumping all this paint dust into the environment. Right off the bat, we start sanding the starboard strut, and we're cleaning this thing up so we can put some prop speed, which is going to keep the barnacles off it all season long. So we're just a couple minutes into sanding. This is one of the rear struts, and already we've cleaned up this some, and we see 46-foot ocean yacht. Didn't even know that was there. That's awesome. Now that the strut's done, we have started sanding the side of the boat, and here we're trying to get a smooth finish before we hit it with that first coat of paint. So I've been sanding here for about 5 minutes, and this is about where we need to get it. More like that, but it's about where we need to get it. And after 5 minutes, haven't done all that much compared to what we got to get down to. So gonna maybe look into a stronger sander. We're already using 60 grit, so I think I just need a more powerful sander. At this point in the video, we're about 16 hours into sanding. I totally didn't record anything, but We got the hull all sanded down and we're ready for that first coat of paint we talked about. So right here we have our first coat of paint going on. It's West Marine anti-foul bottom paint, and for its price, we really liked how it went on. Drop in the comments below what kind of bottom paint you guys may have used in the past. So we're doing the first coat in blue and 2 coats of black after that, and the reason for that is when we see the blue start to shine through, it's time to pull the boat out of the water and put some new paint on it. While the paint's drying, I went ahead and replaced the shaft anodes and the rudder anodes, which act as sacrificial metals that corrode instead of your boat's running gear, and this is essential yearly maintenance. One down, one to go. So, as you guys see, Summer Girl is out of the water, and we have some special guests joining us today. Riley, say hi to the camera. So I'm pretty much going to run you guys through the final checks that we're going to be doing before we put this boat in the water, and then the process of actually lifting it up with the crane and putting it in the water. First thing we're going to check here is we're going to turn on our batteries, and we're going to check and make sure that we have good battery levels, and they're good. So now that's good, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to check the oil. Our next order of business is we're going to check the oil levels again on both of these engines. So we just pull it out, wipe the dipstick, put it back in there. Now we can read the level. We're reading about 3/4 full, so we're going to go ahead and put a couple quarts. And yes, very dirty oil. We're planning on doing an oil change later this month. So repeat this engine. That engine's a little bit lower, so I'm going to probably go ahead and drop a gallon into that one. So these Detroit engines, they like straight 40 weight oil. So as you can see, SAE 40. We're going to be putting, like I said, about a half gallon into this side and about a quart, maybe a half gallon on that side, and we'll repeat. This straight 40 weight oil is draining like molasses when it's cold. That's why it's really important to let your diesels warm up before you start, running them aggressively. Next order of business, we're going to come in here, we're going to check all the battery connections, ensure we have a tight connection, especially on the starter motors. And finally, we're going to come here, turn on the bilge pumps, and we're going to operate the forward, mid, and aft pump manually, just to make sure we have good bilge pumps before we're going in the water. And before I forget the most important part, we're talking about the drain plug right there. If I don't put that thing in, we're going under. So what we got going on here is we are just putting the final little coats of paint right where some of these stands were. They scratched when they lifted the boat up. So painting those, they're gonna give it a little bit of time to dry, and then she's going in the water. it is actually the next day here. We had about 4 hours of engine problems. We stopped filming yesterday's video. Eventually we got it going, but by that time it was actually dark out, so made it to the marina. So I'm kind of just going to show you guys kind of what happened between then and now. So we are here down in the engine room. We have our primary fuel filter and our secondary fuel filter. What happened was our secondary fuel filter was only about halfway, so it was actually just sucking air and this engine wouldn't start. So that's kind of what held us up for 4 hours. We were just kind of messing with the primary. Eventually we worked our way through, got to the secondary, and then we were good to go. So starting from the back here, we cleaned up the glass marlins, as you guys can see right there, as well as all the teak on the combing boards. Then we went ahead and we got the rest of the teak done here. As you guys can see from the top view, we got all the teak done. So once we get some nice weather here, we're gonna finish adding some wood oil to it, some teak oil, and then we're gonna be moving on to the next project. First thing you guys might notice is how clean it is up here. My wonderful wife came out here while I was at work and pressure washed for us. And then I got off work, came home, installed the new Garmin electronics, as well as worked on some of these gauges. I have the temperature gauges working, this fuel gauge working, but it's not the right gauge, so we have a lot of work to do on this helm area. After the boat sat for a few months, as you guys can see, some of the paint is looking very thin, so hopefully this weather clears up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna repaint at least this top deck area on the bow, and then the rest of the boat can be done in the future. Now that we have shown you guys the outside, let's go ahead and check out some of the projects that we've been doing on the inside. Coming onto the salon, if you guys haven't seen the video, we did remove all the carpet, and we'll show you guys that in a little bit. But here's a little salon update. Hi, Ray. Some of the updates you guys will see here is we have new countertops here and over here. As some of you may notice in the videos, we have this giant crack in the mirror, and our plan is to hopefully be able to remove the whole thing and then replace it with something simple or maybe something cool like a Salty Boys fishing logo. What are you guys thinking? For flooring, we're thinking about doing something around this color, which I think is called Champagne Oak. We're down here in the galley. We have not done this countertop yet, as well as the backsplash, so some of our next projects are going to be removing the sink, updating the fixtures, updating the new backsplash, as well as putting on nice electrical outlet covers. And we've been thinking about maybe getting a cover plate for the microwave, but we're not there yet. Also, we don't really use this stovetop and oven, so we're thinking about updating this to maybe like a glass stovetop. Drop in the comments below what you guys think. Coming down the center line of the boat, we have our 2 staterooms. This one's primarily our storage closet right now during these projects. And this one over here is also storage. These are some of our old propellers. If you guys haven't seen the video of the Boatyard where we installed new propellers, drop a link right up here. Coming out, we have our first starboard head right here. So as you guys can see, it's kind of outdated. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the old fixtures and lights. We're gonna put new updated fixtures, as well as hopefully we can paint this countertop, maybe even some kind of epoxy resin on it, and update this head a little bit. Up here in the V-berth, we have since fixed the headliners. You guys can see all we need now is we need to put up a trim piece around here, and I need to fix these 3 lights up here. That's why it's so dark in here. Only the 4-2 are working, so working on that. And then the same thing goes with this bathroom. It's kind of outdated, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna update some of the fixtures, cabinets, and hopefully paint this thing and make it look really nice. Some of the final updates that have been going on is down here in the engine room. We have completely rewired batteries, which this kind of looks like a mess, but pretty much what's going on is we have 3 batteries, jumper wires to make them parallel, and then back here we have 2 bus bars, which everything else goes to, which is a lot of wires on a boat like this. And for me, I'm 6'2", and taking this hatch out is one of the biggest and best things that we've ever done on this boat, because now I have all this room to sit down here, do maintenance, as well as we have a generator going back here, hopefully within the next couple weeks. So look forward to seeing that video. Little update with these engines is hopefully soon we're gonna start work on repainting these. So I'll have to get out here, break off all this old paint, and go ahead and start replacing some of the old hoses, hose clamps, as well as painting it just so they can start to look new. As well as we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do an oil change on both engines, as well as fuel filter changes on both engines. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you guys want to see anything on this boat or anything about boat ownership on a boat like this, go ahead and drop in the comments below.